morning we're going to be talking about eating disorders. Can any of you give me an idea of what you think an eating disorder looks like?
Eating and then throwing up.
Okay, do you know what that's called?
It's either anorexia or bulimia.
Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Overeating.
Yeah, overeating.
Obesity. That is another spectrum of the eating disorder. Yes, overeating.
Would like eating to make yourself feel better?
Emotional eating.
Emotional eating?
That is another one. We're not going to go too much into that one today, but yes, that is another one. So we've got eating too much. We've got throwing up, eating and then throwing up. We've got eating, emotional eating, and a way to cope. A lot of eating disorders are, in fact, because you don't have those coping skills. That's one of the main factors and reasons why people develop eating disorders. So I'm going to give you guys this little info thing, and it has the different types of eating disorders as well as some data. So in the United States right now, there's 154 males and 154 million females. About 20 million of the 154 million females have an eating disorder at one point in their life, and 10 million of men have an eating disorder in their life. That correlates to 13% of women and 6% of men. In schools, about 40 to 60% of even elementary school girls have reported on a diet or have reported having a feeling of worrying about being overweight. Okay, so we talked about bulimia, throwing up. That is frequently consuming large amounts of food and then immediately or shortly thereafter purging, which would be throwing it up, causing yourself to vomit to help stop the you from gaining weight because you have the fear of gaining weight. There's another one called anorexia. That one is just your lack of food intake. They don't eat normally. They're very, very restricted on their calories. They try not to eat. And then there's the third, which is the binge eating disorder, which is you eat normally most of the time and then you just gorge when you're feeling bad or whatever. There's a lot of complications with all of these eating disorders. As you guys can read on the bottom, anorexia can cause an extremely low heartbeat and blood pressure, which can actually increase your risk of heart disease and a heart attack and heart failure. You increase your risk of kidney failure because your blood balances are off. Hair loss is a huge sign, and bone density decreases, so your risk of osteoporosis increases. Bulimia, throwing up, that would be that causes tooth decay because the acids from your stomach can eat your teeth. It can cause your esophagus to get holes in it, cause inflammation, cause just all kinds of bad things with your esophagus. Peptic ulcers in your stomach, so holes in the lining of your stomach, and it can cause your electrolyte imbalances, and that can also lead to death because when your electrolytes are out of balance in your body, your blood is out of balance, your sodium, all your things that make your body work are out of balance, and they cause your muscles to contract wrong. Binging. So when you binge, you increase your risk of diabetes, you increase your risk of heart disease, and you increase your risk of high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Why do you think somebody might develop an eating disorder?
Bullied in school.
Bullied in school. It's a huge one.
Just wanting to look better or
Self-esteem,
Self-esteem,
body
looks.
dissatisfaction. What about our media? What role does our media play?
Models are thin.
Models are thin, yes. A little bit of data. The average American woman is 5'4" and weighs about 165 pounds, whereas Miss America, the average Miss America winner, is 5'7" and only weighs 121 pounds. So the body ideal, the body image that's out there in the media is very different than what is your everyday average American woman's body type. Okay, so what are some other reasons that we can talk about that people may have an eating disorder?
being abused as a child,
Depression.
Depression, lack
peer
of parent-
pressure.
peer pressure. Peer pressure is a huge one. If everybody around you is making fun of you because you're deemed fat or whatever, you may develop an eating disorder. So what can we do in the school system to help students not develop an eating disorder and help the ones that may already have one? What's something we can do?
Make them aware of it or talk to them.
Talk to them? Yes, definitely. If you do suspect somebody, make sure you tell either your school counselor, tell your parents, tell somebody so that maybe they can get some help. Because the earlier that the student receives treatment for that eating disorder, the more likely they are to be successful with that eating disorder treatment, and the more likely they are to continue success further on. We can also make sure we speak out against the thin ideal, the media's portrayal of what is considered beautiful and what's considered not. If we take into account and support people of all different body types and all different sizes, and as long as they're healthy, be supportive of that lifestyle and be supportive of their body and help speak out against that stereotypical, yes, help speak up against that stereotypical what is seen as beautiful. And that way students all feel supported and they're less likely to develop those eating disorders.
Maybe also training just curriculum with staff and that kind of thing too, as far as nutrition and
Make sure
teaching
the
teachers
and
are aware of the
So make sure all the teachers are aware of
just
not
education
only the,
and
not only the signs of eating disorders, but maybe also to help promote that positive body image.
yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so a little more information. 81% of 10-year-olds have the fear of being fat. That's an alarming amount of 10-year-olds that feel like they're overweight, or are afraid of becoming overweight. Is over half of teenage girls and nearly 1/3 of teenage boys use unhealthy weight control behaviors such as skipping meals, fasting, smoking cigarettes, vomiting, and taking laxatives. That's awful.
Is that to appeal to the opposite sex or just to fit in with their peers, or would that be considered the same thing?
Both. To fit in with peers and to be seen as what is considered the norm in media and magazines. Of elementary school girls who read magazines, 69% say the pictures influence their concept of the ideal body shape. 47% say the pictures make them want to lose weight. That's of elementary school girls, age 6 to 11. So another thing we can do to help, if you guys do think you have an eating disorder, or you think you might have one, or if you do know of somebody else that does, talk to your doctor, talk to a school professional, talk to somebody, talk to an adult, talk to your parents. Those can all, because you want to get in and get treated. There's different behavior therapies, there's different types of programs that you can go into, and just people that you can talk to if you think you might have an eating disorder. I know nobody wants to go see a therapist or have that stigma against them, but if coming to talk to your school counselor or a school person, they might be able to connect you to that other person, and it's completely confidential, and the only people that will know are your parents and whoever you tell. It's not, nobody else at school is going to know. Don't be afraid to come and talk. Because like I said, the eating disorders have the highest mortality rate out of any of the psychological disorders of any adolescent aged student or child. So, do you guys have any questions?
Here.
So, okay, no, you guys are not alone in asking for help if you are feeling that you have an eating disorder or telling somebody about somebody else that may. It's better to err on the safe side and talk to your friend or come and talk to somebody and get the help you need, or try and help your friend get the help that he or she may need. Because it's not just a girl thing. Boys have it too. A lot of boys are using unrealistic or striving for that unrealistic body type and using unhealthy ways to control their weight and will have and do have eating disorders. So, you guys have any questions?
I don't have any questions at this time.
No.
Okay, well, thank you guys for listening, and if there are any questions that arise later, please come see me in my office.